Here we're on our way to Harbor Freight, and they have a Greyhound 6.5 overhead valve gasoline engine for $99.99, so $100, and it was $179. It sounds like an awesome deal. I've read the forums. The only thing I've heard bad about them is the oil sensor will shut off the engine, so disconnect the yellow wire and it'll run gray. That's the only thing I heard, and so I'm going to go ahead and buy it for Tiller. And so here I go, and it's my first visit to Harbor Freight ever. We got one in Macon, that's it. We never had one before, and it's usually up north I hear about them. All my friends on YouTube talk about how good Harbor Freight is, so we're going to go there and see what they got. Models and scratched up. The work started here. Alright, so I'm getting ready to install the engine. Here's the old one. This is some grease I put on the pulley to get it loosened. Let's get the pulley off. Engine's ready to go. We'll set it on there and start bolting up the bolts. What do you know, the belt lines up pretty good. I'll show you this. See, like that. So I think that's good enough. Hopefully it's tight enough. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go get my gasoline and my braking oil. Filled up oil and gasoline. Not filled up with gasoline. Let me put a third of a tank in there. Run it for a little bit, see what she does. Drain the oil, do all that. So we'll see that next. The kind of oil I'm using is this is a 5 quarts container of a 10W30 from AutoZone. Cheap oil, real cheap. But the break-in the engine, what you want to do is you first want to fill it up to factory specs, which is a 1.5 quarts. We'll just check the oil a lot, make sure we don't overfill it. And you're going to run it for about an hour at idle. You can run it a little past idle, a little below idle. You just want to run it for a while, and I'm going to be tilling probably while I'm doing it too. Yeah. You can work it under load if you wanted to, don't go too crazy and rev it really low. But I want to run it about idle and let all those detergents that are in the engine, all those lubricants, assembly lube, anything they use to keep the inner engine parts from rusting up, metal shavings, whatever's in the crankcase, you run it for about an hour, then you drain the oil, and then after that you can do it again after that if you want to, and that just gets it clean, because it's called breaking in the engine. It's breaking in oil, because you're not going to, you want to buy cheap oil for that. You don't want to put your nice oil in there. And I probably will go with a higher grade oil later, but for right now, for breaking it in, I'm going to use this cheap oil. Alright, so we got like 3 different levers here. This one is for like rabbit, turtle. That's on turtle. This one is choke, and this one is fuel shut off. So that's off, and this one's on. I noticed there was a little bit of oil in the crankcase. That seemed a little odd. Hope it's not been a return. Anyway, I'm gonna put it on on. This button here. This is the first start ever of this engine. Okay. I'll go ahead and choke it. I'm going to put it on about there. Alright, it's got oil in it, it's got gas in it, let's go. Gas is on. There you go, now it's choked. Noticed is the hot surface that says don't touch hot. It's smoking a lot because the paint's burning off. I don't know if they used the right paint. This is a great engine for $99. The sale ends the 30th of this month, and in Georgia anyway. I don't know if it's everywhere, but the website has it. So I might want to go ahead and buy maybe 2-3 more of these. Put it on my go-kart, my weed eater dirt bike, anything. But I'm going to finish tilling this and maybe crisscross till it a couple times. Really get my till on, because, you know, I want the ground to be really good. Tilled great. I went back and forth. First I did a pattern going this way, and then I did a pattern going this way. And you can see it's just soft soil right there. Just, you sink into it. And, you know, roots like this is able to snap pretty easily. But, it's probably we'll start planting Monday here. I'm going to make this our melon patch because it has pretty good shade. And then I'm thinking about plowing some over there. And, make that more of a tomatoes, full sunlight type place. But very good soil. This is where we mix the cow manure in. Very good soil. For my review of the Greyhound 6.5 horsepower engine, item number 66015. 66015. It is a good engine, and for $99 I'd buy it. Go buy it before you run out of time. But yeah, works great on a tiller. The only thing I've ever heard wrong about it was on the actual Harbor Freight website. People left comments saying you need to disconnect this yellow wire because that's the oil sensor, low oil sensor. And they say sometimes that sensor burns out or messes up and it says you have low oil and it shuts off the engine when you don't have low oil. So I haven't had a problem out of it yet, but if I do, I'll disconnect it. So far, good little tiller now.